Hello, welcome to the Harper College. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. I will be your instructor, facilitator, coach, for lack of better words, for the next 12 weeks. You signed up for a fully online class, Marketing 105, the sports marketing offered by Harper College. This is an introductory class just to give you a great overview, a general overview about all the different aspects of sports marketing, different opportunities. When people think of sports marketing, they're thinking of the big, like in the NFL or in the basketball or in the soccer leagues arena, for lack of a better word. Sports marketing comes down to this little bar in the corner that has a sports bar, or selling football, tennis, hockey, any kind of or golf, any kind of equipment that falls underneath the arena of sports marketing. There are two categories of demographics. It crosses across all cultures, all age groups, and everything. But the two main areas you're looking at participants. Those are people who are actually still in the sport, still shaped, like to play the sports, football, soccer, golf, whatever, ping pong. And then you have the spectators, myself, that are out of shape but still enjoy the sport, to watch other people play the sport, and I get enjoyment out of that. Now, overall, the sports market has been doing fairly well. I know COVID-19, certain protests, certain things that were coming out there within the league, injuries with players having head injuries, especially in the football. Some of that kind of put like a little slowdown on the growth and the potential. It's still there, but we have to brand ourselves and look at the concerns of our constituents, or our customers, our clients. And our customers or clients are two types. We have clients you're going to find out that are actually buying the product, the retail consumers, and then you have business to business. Are you working with businesses? So when you're looking at this overview, is going to take everything you learned, the four P's, from marketing or advertising, other classes you've taken myself, or other instructors here at Harper College or other institutions, and now it's going to be just focusing on that one little segment, sports. Okay? So that's what this class. So this is going to be your orientation. It should be under 30 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes, just so you have an idea what is going to be expected out of this class. So you're going to come into your Blackboard course management system. That's what Harper utilizes. Since this is a late start class, most students already have an idea how to go in, even if you're a freshman or new to the college, because this class, I think, starts until February, this particular class. Now, when you're looking at this orientation, you're taking me maybe one semester or two semesters down the road, and hey, that was a couple semesters behind. Orientation doesn't change. The dates change, the same work requirements, as long as it's the same book. Everything else is the same pattern, so you have a general idea what is going to be expected out of you, so you do well in this class. Okay? Now, so you're going to find your class. You've noticed I teach finance. My background, for those of you who know, is management and marketing. So I'm a double major all the way through. My master's and my doctorate's all in management and marketing, and international business also. That's where my doctorate focused on. So I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the whole picture. That's my whole background. So now I'm going to just take the marketing, everything you learned in marketing. I didn't change it, but now we're just going to narrow it down just to the sports area. And when you're looking at sports, when you think of sports marketing, it's not just looking at the games on TV and everything else. So fine. It'd be nice if you could get those positions or the job in there. You could. I think Harper has some internships that they may be able to get you in there. Now, some internships at Harper, they pay you back. Other internships are just there so you make the network. But when I'm looking at combining everything else and focusing in on this, you have to understand that marketing, it comes down all the way to the little sports bar in the corner. It comes down to apparel. It comes down to a sports shop. It comes down to high school teams. How do I get people to come in to support our team for the high school and help other students grow? All this is part of marketing. So if you're looking at marketing, sports marketing, this is like an introduction to business class, only an introduction to sports marketing. So it's going to give you different areas you're going to look at. Some of you might already had before retail merchandising. So if I look at retail merchandising, now I'm a sports marketing store. I'm selling sports equipment, or I'm doing some kind of training, or I'm trying to teach people how to play a certain sport. So I'm basically out there as a coach. Okay, so let's go through it. You're going to go into your Blackboard course management system. I just threw that in so you know my background's all over. Most businesses, they have to have a well-rounded background. You have to be a business person first. Then you have to be the marketing person to sell your product, and then you have to know your constituents and how to get to them. But you have to understand that round that you're going to be selling with it. So I'm going to click on this class here. It's going to be available, I think, in a week. Now, remember, nothing changes but the dates if you're looking at this and it's 2 years behind. This one's going to be fairly current. For some reason, when I put the banner up, it didn't come up. I was updating. I'll try to get rid of all this white later on. Here's my face. Here's the book. This class is 24/7. So, but you're required to log in 3 times a day to make sure the homework assignment and discussion board. And I'll break down what's required. So you're going to come in here and you have everything on this side: Blackboard Collaborative, Virtual Meeting Live. A lot of times, this one is not going to be up. Let me just hide it. I'll change this later on. I utilize Blackboard Collaborate. Is every week I'll give you a quick message, a little link that says, "Hey, you guys are doing well." Like the quote, "Keep it up." Oh man, you really sucked for the last time, or you didn't do too good. Remember, I'm teaching sports marketing. I'm not cussing or swearing, but I'm trying to give you that flavor how what you have to do. You're trying to connect with people, especially in sports. It's a different camaraderie. It's a different group of individuals. They love their team. And now what you have to do is, what I miss, but I only know everything about baseball. I don't know nothing about hockey. Or I don't know anything about football. I don't know nothing about soccer. It's okay. Out of this class, you'll have a general idea. The whole thing, what you're looking about in sports marketing or any kind of marketing, you're looking at the time frame and event and how quickly I could turn around something that's happening live to benefit my my business operation, to promote my products and services indirectly. Okay? All right, so here's we go. You're going to come in here. You always have my announcements to tell you what's going on. Check on that. I'm not going to go through there. I'm going to go through my syllabus, just walk it through. You have some information about me. You find out about my bio, find out what I have. This Blackboard Collaborate. Now, here's what I have. If you need to have a meeting with me, I am strictly an online instructor. I'm a contractor for the college. An adjunct instructor. So what that basically means, you want to get a hold of me, you'll say, "Dr. George, we need to have a meeting." I normally will have a meeting using Harper WebEx. Harper WebEx is the corporate WebEx that Harper has a subscription to, and it's very secure and everything else. And I will, you said we had to meet, you have to tell me what, I want to meet. You don't just meet someone in marketing. What do you want to meet about? Tell me. I want to talk about my grades. I want to talk about this, how I'm going to improve, whatever the concern is. I will see that, and then I will basically send you a WebEx, Harper WebEx link, and you'll have to have a camera and audio. And it's not recorded, but I need to talk to, just like if you come to my office, I need to know who I'm talking to. Other thing on this fully online class, you send me any kind of emails, it has to go to Harper, your Harper Gmail, for lack of a better word. Then I know it protects me as a contractor, protects the college, and protects you for your privacy. So I know this is the email that Harper College assigned you. So when I'm talking to you, it's your email. It's not like George Mochocki at Comcast, and I could become Sally Mochocki, but I'm using George Mochocki's name. If you give that information and access to your Harper email to somebody else, that's on you. All I know is that it comes from Harper, it's assigned to this student, and I will communicate the grades on that. Otherwise, some says, "Dr. George, send you 5 emails, you never reply." I do not reply for any emails unless it comes to your Gmail, your Harper Gmail account. It goes into my spam account. I may look at it in a couple of months, see if I missed something, but I don't even look at it. That is the rule. Remember, sports rules. You didn't do it, you didn't do it. All right? Okay, I'm the coach also, and the referee. Man, oxymoron there, huh? Okay, so here's what you're going to. So you're going to have this, and now you're going to always check your grades, check your calendar, and the calendar is not only for this course, it's for all the other courses. So say, I didn't know what was due. Your weekly assignment, you're going to have weekly discussions. You have weekly quizzes after the quizzes. The quizzes are, you have 2 tries for the quizzes, and it comes out of a pool. So you may get it right the first time. Yeah, I think it's out of a pool of 30 questions. So you have 2 tries. I take the highest try, but you have to do it in the same setting. So I take the highest grade. So you do the first time, you got a B. That's good enough. I'm going to keep the B. I do the second time. I got, let's say I wanted a higher than B. I get a C. You still get the B. But if I do the third time, let's say the second time I got an A, you'll get the A on that. Mine is for you to learn the terms and conditions. Don't try to get by here and say, oh, I'm going to talk about this sports team and this sports team. It doesn't make a difference. The sports team, we all like certain sports teams. I'm more into canoeing, more into biking now at my age, and more into nature, and it's still part of sports marketing. But you may be into football, into soccer. Remember, there's 2 types of individual, a spectator and a participant. And I want to hit both of those categories, but I have to market them just a little bit differently. Okay, so you have that. You have your weekly discussions. Now the weekly discussions, here's how they work. When I do the weekly discussion board, I'll go, how much is their work? You have to reply to me by Wednesday midnight to my question. Let's say it's 30 points. I forget what the points. I'll look later on for like different classes. I usually use the same, a similar format. So you're going to have to reply to my post by Wednesday, and if it's 30 points, you get 15 points. Now, depending on the quality, I'm not looking just so you say talk and stuff. I'm looking at quality. I'm looking at least a paragraph to my questions, 1 or 2 within the discussion board. If anything longer, you attach an attachment to that. But usually it'd be about 1 or 2 paragraphs, and respond to me. And after you respond to me by Wednesday, you are required to respond to 3 or 4 other students within the discussion board by Sunday midnight, the due date. If you do my response on Sunday and respond to everybody else on Sunday, you are not going to get the full points. You may get maybe C or a B depending on the quality. I'm looking at quality and substance. I'm looking at you using vocab in the chapter reading within the discussion. That's how you're going to learn to talk, just like in any kind of sport. You have to know the signals, you have to know the terminologies, you have to know the rules, and you have to know your parameters or your objectives, what you want to attain out of this class. Good? Okay, so we have that, and then you have handouts, your quizzes. You're going to have weekly journals. At the weekly, and those are easy to help you go along if you don't do well on the quizzes or some of the discussion board. So with the weekly journals, you're just going to come at the end and say, Dr. George, I learned today what a participant is. I learned today out of the chapter reading, I didn't realize that the 4 P's apply into this. I didn't realize how the supply chain is affected within the sports marketing that's happening now. All this stuff, and yeah, real quickly, 1 or 2 paragraphs, and those are easy points. Or I'm having difficulty on this, could you please explain a little bit here? And that is our one-to-one connection that you may not have in our discussion board. The discussion boards are set up, you respond to me, and right? And then I am monitoring the discussion board to see how you respond to the other thing. The whole thing is not to make me happy, it's how you network and connect to other ideas, other people within the discussion board. So when you respond to somebody, hey, cool idea. What the hell is a cool idea? I like this idea because the color represents the team you're trying to promote, and here's what's happening, and it plays in for my customers to come and motivate them to come into my sports bar, my school, or whatever venue I'm trying to promote. And this is sports marketing, is how do I motivate people to come into it. The whole thing is, how do I make money off of something that individuals love to do, and I am just another component of their whole reality to enjoy their sports, either at home or in a separate venue. However, I need to set it up to compete with my competitors. And when I'm looking at competitors, if I'm a sports bar, a neighborhood sports bar, I'm looking at the corporate sports bar, but I'm also looking at other bars within the area, sports bars, and how do I bring their clientele into my venue or into my store. Okay? So that takes care of that. Okay, so what else we have? Handouts, weekly journal, new marketing campaign. In lieu of a final exam, every discussion board will either you're going to go to a store to check something else, you're going to buy something. This is a very interactive class, very hands-on class. Okay, so you're going to come up at the beginning in a couple weeks, 2 weeks. You're going to tell me what's going to be your marketing campaign, who you're going to do a marketing campaign for. You're going to take the role of a consultant trying to help a business, a high school, an establishment to become more effective. That their main venue is sports. And how do I get people to come and utilize my services or my establishment or my venue, or stimulate that aspect of my business to my consumers? That's your job. So you're going to do this thing. And the way it works, when you look at the book, every week you're building on your actual marketing campaign. So click on this. It gives you some video. It gives you some information. This is set up either in teams or individual. Nothing changes in this fully online class. Since this is a 16-week class, this particular class condensed into 12 weeks, and it's fully online. You'll be working solo, independently, and you're going to come up with a marketing plan. So you're going to have a written document that you're going to come up. You have to have a vocabulary, look at it, or if it's on a face-to-face down the road, sometimes when we're back after COVID-19, kind of what you would consider the new normal in the classroom, I create teams. So it depends on the platform that you're learning this. You still are learning the same conceptual ideas, the same understanding. Whether you're working in a teams I like more teams because that's more like the sport. But because of the platform that you signed up for, you're going to be doing independent. It still works out the same. The only difference between a team presentation and an independent slideshow presentation is the point value. I raise the points. We have more people working in a team than I do on a individual. I'm a lot more lenient on an individual coming up with their strategy than I would on a team, because you have more people giving ideas, stimulating ideas. But just the whole thing out of this course under my is that you learn about sports marketing in the general overall. And then you may take some other kind of marketing class that's very specific. Remember, marketing, what you've had before, is a big umbrella, and now we're just bringing it down into that one little niche. And in that niche, there are many mini niches that I want to get into. But the two main ones are participants and spectator. Okay, and you can and you may be both a participant and a spectator, but a lot of people will fall into one or the other. Okay, so now your whole life is going to be in this weekly assignment. Let's go into our syllabus. Now, if I look at the syllabi, I got them all the way down here. You look at the date. Now, this is a PDF file. I'm going to click it on here. I already have it open up, so I don't have to waste it, slow it down. Because what happens when you click it on here, it's going to download into your computer or your laptop, for lack of better words, or your desktop. Now, when you print this out, okay, this is, so I'm going to open this up right now. I already have it here. Let's see, let me open this up. Syllabi. Hang on. There we go. I have to bring it over here, sorry. Okay, so now you're at your, this is your syllabi. You open up the syllabi. One thing I want to talk about the electronic syllabi. Make sure you save this electronic syllabi, this file, because down the road there's a lot of relationships that we have with other universities out here. The courses transfer. Harper does. You may have going to another university that's specifically in sports marketing, and this is like an elective class. Just a quick overview, a smorgasbord about sports marketing in general. So you say, I already took this general class. I know a little bit about it. I don't want to take it again. They're going to say, well, show me the instructor syllabi. If you have an instructor syllabi, it has 2 pages. You'll be taking a course over. This one here, I think I forgot, is 15 pages. It tells you what we covered, what chapters, the book, what was expected, what did you do. 95% of the time, especially for international students, they'll look at the syllabi. I have a doctorate. They look at this and the content and everything else and say, okay, this meets our minimal qualification for an elective that you've already taken, and we'll accept the class. Don't call me 3 years later and say, Dr. Jordan, I need your syllabi. I need it for, what did you take? I don't remember. How the hell am I going to remember? You save it. It's part of your thing. So I have a file, a different syllabi, in case you want to bring it up, unless you need a refresher and to take the class over again. Okay? So here's the book. It's an average $60, $80. This book here is the 5th edition. There are other books out there. I utilize this because the college is trying, especially with the COVID and cash resources, I'm trying to use something that is not going to break the piggy bank, for lack of better words, right? Now remember, marketing, you could come up with a good marketing plan, but your client doesn't have the cash to implement it. So you have to adjust it according to the needs of the client and how much revenue he or she has for their establishment or venue able to promote your product. You could be very creative. That's why you're in marketing. You're creative. You're not that logical left side person. You also have your left and your right side together. You are a marketer. Creativity pours out of your skin. It should, at least. Okay, so here's the book. You can pick it up on Amazon. Here's a publisher's website on here. Tells you everything you need. I'm not going to go through it. You guys are adults. You could read. Here's how you're going to be graded. Weekly discussion. I have it for 20 points. 10 points. So that's 22% of your grade. Personal journal, that's 5% of your grade. You have written assignments through the paper. You're going to have the written assignments submitted, and I'll grade them. And there are 10 times 40 points each. That's 32%. And the written assignments are building up for your major paper. There's no final exam, okay? And then you have your quizzes. There's 14 chapters, 20 points each, and that's 19%. You have to learn the vocab. The quizzes, 2 tries, like I mentioned before, and take the higher of that. Once the due date is gone, don't come back to me and say, Dr. George, I missed it. Too late. You got the attendance, move forward. Don't whine, don't cry. You're in business, you're in marketing. You missed the client's due date. He or she's not very happy with you. Move on. I'm sorry. Let's go on. If you're stuck on what you did before, you're not going to be very successful. Okay, it happened. Things happen. Murphy's Law is Mrs. Murphy, whoever's Murphy's Law. It happened. Let's go on forward, all right? You move forward. And then maybe once I see that you're doing better again, then I may do some kind of adjustments at the end or give you some kind of exemptions or reduce something. But not going forward. Just keep on moving. You keep on plowing away, just like you would in any kind of sport. I only got 2 more minutes left. I'm not going to win. Try it. You don't. They never give up. They fight to the end. Sports marketing. You have to have that same kind of attitude as your customers and your clients have about sports. That's why they're in that field. All right. They're psychic, okay? Now, the final paper, so you're going to have a PowerPoint slideshow with audio and video or YouTube. That's 120 points for 10% of your grade. And a final paper, this is the written portion, is 150, that's 12%. So this gives you 1,260 points, okay? It's 100%. Grading scale. Now, I may have to adjust some of these depending on the situation, the technology. Something could happen. You know, we got a blackout, or you have Comcast not working, or Blackboard is down, and you know, so I have to adjust it. So I may adjust some of these points here, but the scale, so it's going to be a running total, is still looking at that. If you got 90% of the points that are current at that time after my adjustment, if I had to do any adjustment, it's an A. 80% is B, 70 C, and then 65 D. You could get a D in this class and still graduate and get a certificate or a associate out of Harper, but D's do not transfer over to any four-year university. So if you're going to try that effort, do a little more, at least get a C out of my class. Okay? So you have everything proactive, discussion board, we talked about this, plan my online orientation before class, begin with the terminology, get the book, and I get away with the book because the homework, you're going to look at this pages, you're going to have to follow the homework assignment. I just say look at page 33 in the book and chapter 2 or 5, and here's what I want. Oh, that's not fair. I want you to read. People, because if I used to tell them exactly what I wanted to do, you didn't need the book. You need the book. The book is a resource. You have to have a foundation. I don't want to know the rules. I'm just going to play football. Good luck on that, or basketball or baseball. You better know the rules, and that's what the book is, the terminology. So when you're talking to other people in that industry, you have the same verbiage. You understand what you're talking about, all right? It has everything on there. It has your weekly reflection. So this is your whole life. You're off. Remember, spring break is in March. So when is it? On this past March 21st to March 27th. Okay. Okay. And here's the link to Harper Bookstore. I have it on here. So let me just put this back here. So now I'm in here. So courses are available. Let me just make this open here. Okay. So now your whole life, check your grades. Always check this. You're going to have the running totals. You're going to have an A. Then you have the points or percentage. Your weekly assignment, one-stop shopping. Now you could come into weekly discussions here, or the quizzes here, the journal, everything outside. But the way I would suggest it, if you're new in this class, week 1. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go into the student mode. That means you only see if I'm entering the student mode. So here's my picture, and I'm going to come into weekly assignment. And I'm on week 1. When you click on week sports marketing, it's supposed to be Monday. Yeah, geez, errors. Okay, I'll correct that. Just my error, because I just uploaded. Okay, so it's going to be Monday, February 14th to Sunday. Your week starts from Monday to Sunday. After Sunday, and you start the next week. Just move on. Okay, here's the your PowerPoints from the book I put in here. Here's the in-class PowerPoint. You click on this. This tells you everything's going to be going. Yeah, you'll be doing. So the week 1, you chapter 1, talk about sports marketing. Chapter 2, strategic sports marketing. Participate in discussion 1. Written assignment in Blackboard. You're going to do it in Blackboard. You're going to complete the written assignment as due on there, and you're going to do the 1 quiz and then record your reflection. These are your points. So how do I do this? I'm going to click on here. And here's everything you have. This just tells you, here's your discussion. You click on there, tell me something about yourself. Don't be sad. You know, if you have no life, make something up. Make it interesting. Remember, and say, I'm George from Chicago. Now, if you look at my background here, I got the American flag because I'm a naturalized citizen. I got underneath there, the next flag over is the Polish flag because I'm Polish descent. English is a second language for me. Polish is my primary language. And the other thing is a German flag. I was born in Germany. I'm not a German citizen. It's because after the war, my parents ended up there. They were war prisoners when Germany took over Poland. I'm old. As a kid then, after a while, they're there before they came to the U.S. So Germany's a point of entry. Like a lot of countries, not like the U.S. Once you're born here, you have that you're automatically a citizen. Other countries, unless the parent, the father, the mother, someone has to be a citizen before you even become a citizen if you're born there. So Germany is just a point of entry. So if they deport me, I know they're going to deport me. It's just where I came in. So I have that, plus I teach internationals, and that's a little bit about that. It gives me my background. You may have the Cubs up there. You may have the Packers, because sometimes I teach at College of Lake County, and the Packers are very well known up in northern Lake County. Down here in the Harper area, Packers, we have a rivalry. But what if you may just have one bar that is only for Packers down here, and there are some out here. But that's your niche, so you're bringing other people's in with like mind. That's all marketing, bring like mind so they could come together and have a good time. Okay, remember, part of marketing is not for me to be social justice or tell you, hey, you got to do this, to do this. That's what messed up this whole damn sports thing. Everyone's is saying, I want this. I understand there's injustice in the world. I'm a business person. I understand that. Look at how I came. I don't even have a country. I had to become naturalized. I'm popped in here. I was forced out of my own country to someplace else. I understand that. But when I come into sports, whether I watch football, soccer, hockey, swimming, tennis, canoeing, walking, hiking, I go in there to escape all this crap. I don't want to hear about that. I want to, when we watch a movie, I want to watch a video. I want to watch a movie so I'm out of reality. That's what a lot of people do. Not me. You may say, oh, George, you live in a bubble. I'm talking about my constituents. That's why they watch the sport. For that hour to 2 hours, they're enjoying it. They don't want to tell me what to do. They don't want to tell me, because you understand, there's such a demographic differences. Mine is just focusing on what they want from me. If I'm selling ice cream, Don't try to say, well, here, coffee's good for you too. I don't want coffee. I want ice cream. I want yogurt. How about this? I may offer it, but that's not what I come to your shop for. I come for this because if not, I'm going to find another shop that takes care of me. All I'm trying to tell you, when you're dealing with clients, if someone has a cause, you could have it on your website. But when they're in here and you're trying to sell it, unless your whole demographic bred for cancer relief, that's on a side issue. That's nothing you do when they come into the sport. They're coming in to watch the game. When they look at your website and you're buying stuff, you have all that out there. You're still have an impact. When a player wants to say, I'm for this cause, he or she does it on the sideline, on their own, and they bring their followers. They're going to have people following certain players. Other players don't believe in that cause. Other players want this cause. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So when I'm looking at marketing, you break away, what are you selling? What is my rationale for that? Okay, so you have that. So then you're going to have your discussion. 8 points, introduce yourself, and then here's this quick overview. That's going to be me, my orientation I have on here. Here's your first written assignment, answer on page 1, page 42. You'll submit as Microsoft, and you're going to submit it to here, due February 20th. If you submit it late, I take 20% off, right off the bat. It's like a penalty. Hey, I'm going to start doing, it's a penalty, okay? Here's the rubrics. Here's week 1 quizzes. You're going to click on there. You're going to do the quizzes. You got to try. Here's your journal entry. Make sure you update your profile. Let me get out of here, exit preview. Okay? So I'm exiting the student. I'm going to go in here. If you notice up in here, here's my profile on this class. So if I click on this profile, you come all the way down here to tools, if I'm mistaken, and you go into profiles. Oops, wrong one, sorry. I teach at another school as Cam. Those of you look at any of my tools, settings. I'm sorry, here it is, personal information. I think I don't edit my recording. Like in a classroom, I say it comes out. In sport, they may have the pictures in, but you already did the task. You already followed the person, you didn't, and you have it in camera. So here it is. You can change up to your personal profile. See your profile, you just click on it and you attach a picture. So when you're doing the discussion board, I have different pictures. It's easier to follow people along. A lot of people say, hey, because of my religious belief or my culture, I don't want to have my picture up there. If you're in marketing, you better have your picture plastered all over. I got to tell that right away. But I understand that this is an educational platform. You don't want to put your picture up there. Put a picture of the Cubs. Put a picture of the Packers. Put a picture of the Bears. I don't care what you put. Pick something that represents you. So when you're in a discussion board, I'm not looking at a silhouette. Blech. Boring. Are we all right? Okay. So that's how you set it, and that's worth 8 points on there. Okay, let's go back to my Blackboard. And sports marketing. Okay, so now I'm on my weekly one-stop shopping. I'm in week 1. Now I'm going to come into the discussion board. This first discussion is real easy, just to get you to use it. You're going to click on the discussion board, and now you're going to introduce yourself. So you're going to create a thread. Now when you create the thread in the discussion, you're going to tell me something about you. I'm George from Chicago. I was born in Chicago. I was born in Germany, and all that. I grew up in Bucktown or Logan Square area in Chicago. Went to Wiles High School. I dropped out of high school. Hey, you dropped out? I wouldn't tell anyone. Why not? I messed up. Life is life, right? The whole thing in sports, you don't do well right off the bat. It's through error and learning and practice you get better and better. I messed up. My colleagues say, don't tell anyone you dropped out. Why? I dropped out. I screwed up. What the hell? It happened. Why should I worry about it? I got a PhD now. Failure, pick it up. If you want to be successful, that's how you have to work, okay? Then you just create a thread. Now, some of these, you're going to create a thread. Some of them, so to keep people honest, so you don't copy other people's discussion board, what I will have, you will not see anyone, I think in week 2, in week 3, when we start going, you have to do some type of discussions and different ideas, or come up with your own ideas and presenting it. I don't want you to read other people's ideas and take a summarization of them and you post it. So you will not see anyone else's discussion till you reply to mine first, and then you'll see your other teammates' discussions in there. This way I see your work only. And if you don't respond to me or anything else, you could have to point. Some points are better than others, I guess, especially in sport. You don't want to lose 0 to 30. You at least like to lose 5 to 30. At least you make some points. Okay? So you just create a thread, and then in the subject area, write something interesting. Just say, responding to the thread, I'm George from Chicago. I'm George, I went to Wells High School. But whatever, just so you make connection. Part of marketing is how do I get my quick little blip in here, just like you do on social media. That one little sentence, because we have a short attention span, to get me to look into that podcaster, to look into that influencer. Something has to catch me eye. So write that in here, and then in here you write something about yourself, and then you reply to other people. All right? So that takes care of this. I'm going to cancel this and have spell check on here. Okay, so that's about it. So if I'm looking at it, make sure your whole life is in here. You already had the breakdown. Look at the syllabi. You have your weekly things. You have your homework written assignments. You have your discussion boards. Remember, the discussion boards replace, for lack of better words, replace your face-to-face interaction in the classroom. If you happen to have me, maybe one semester later, you're looking at this, and I'm teaching a WebEx sports marketing class. Same class, only WebEx. That means you will have a virtual component in a classroom where instead of discussion, is the points are dropped, but it'd be more in interaction in a virtual platform. All right. So you'll see weekly messages from me in Blackboard Collaboration. So you need a link. Look at this, 5 minutes. This is probably the longest one. You also have my concept maps. When you look in here in your weekly assignment, let me just go in here. Okay. I think I got content. Let me click in here. This just means it's a folder. Anytime you have this, like this, that's an assignment you turn in. This is a link to someplace in here to the quizzes, your journal entries, your rubrics, how to update, sports marketing do. Here's a quick overview, full YouTube, 30 minutes on this. Here's interest in my mind map. And you click on the mind maps. I got one open up here. Hang on. Okay, so here's the mind map. Let me just bring it over here. 1 second, class. All right. Anyway, if I look, I can't for some reason drag over. Let me open up another one. Anyway, click on the mind map. My mind map is a quick overview of what is required. You know what I mean? The vocab and the concepts and everything else there. So it gives you the second level. So this is everything you should have learned in this chapter. Let's see, maybe it'll open up here. Hang on. Okay. Let me see if I get this thing to open up for me. Oh, here, it does open up. So if I look at my mind map, this is the mind map of sports marketing, chapter 1. It tells you everything you need. My lecture tells you that. This one I gave you a little bit more than normally. Normally you would only have the main heading or 1 and 2, and as you're reading the chapter, you add on to it. I tried to give you this one here so you know what I expect. So this tells you the whole book. The other mind maps may only have 1, 2, 3. I won't open all of them, otherwise why read the book? I give you all the information. Okay? So let me just close that off, and I just put that off, and that's all I have for you right now. We're done. I would just like to tell you welcome again to Harper College, Marketing 105, Sports Marketing. I'll see you in a week or so. Make sure, try not to do all your homework at the one time at the end of the week. There's no way you're going to pass this class. Get the book. It's real quick. Yeah, on Amazon, eBay. Since this book's been in circulation for a while, you probably get a good deal on that. But you need the book. No way around it. It's the 5th edition. You have it on here, and we'll enjoy it. Everything you learn in marketing is a prerequisite, and a lot of people are just taking this as an elective, or you want to say, hey, I may want to go into sports marketing. What's it all about? And so this will give you a good general overview. Again, welcome to this. My name is Dr. George Mochocki, and Harper College welcomes you. And remember, eventually, this COVID is slowly dwindling. Yeah, I think if I'm looking at doing international business also for another school, I think there's like already 13 countries that already eliminated all mandates, all masks, and everything else. We're coming around. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Canada, which is interesting. How could I sell if I'm a Canadian business out there? How could I sell? It affects my supply chain though. But it's an interesting time. I just love this time. It's interesting because you have to be creative. How do I sell when in the COVID? How do I sell once COVID opens up? People have a lot of money. How do I get them to come into me? Is it a good time to start a business or reinvent my business from a marketing, sports marketing venue perspective? See you in the discussion board very shortly. Bye. And it's 39 minutes. Usually my orientations run about 40 minutes. I want to cover a little bit about, I want you to know a little bit about myself. I want you to know a little bit about the class, so you get that feeling. We want to make that connection. That's the whole thing with marketing. The more exposure, marketing, basically what you learn in marketing and advertising is exposure and frequency. How much do I expose myself to you, and the frequency, how often and what time and which area. Okay? Bye-bye.